Take a look at the loop as it came in here. You can see where it came in, and as it did, it went not over land. After landfall, it was still over water for the next 3 or 4 hours. So the intensity of the storm remained very high for at least 6 hours. Eventually, an area just west of New Orleans got 17 inches of rain in just 20 hours. Now, 4,900 National Guard troops are out to try to assess the situation. One person did die, according to authorities in Ascension Parish, when he went outside to check on trees on his property. Right now, more than 1 million people are without electricity across Louisiana and Mississippi. All of New Orleans without power. We'll go live there in a moment. Again, it's the 5th largest storm ever to hit the continental United States. According to Governor Edwards, 900 members of search and rescue teams from 16 states are in place. And as I mentioned, 4,900 National Guard troops. Let's go to Port Fourchon, which was one of the hardest hit areas. Highest wind gusts there reported 172 miles an hour near where Ida came ashore. That's a critical hub, and this is from someone's home. You can see that the water there is about chest high in that area. Natural gas infrastructure there, 90% of Gulf oil operations have been suspended. In Grand Isle, which is a town where about 40 people are said to have remained behind, we're just not sure what we're going to find out of there, except that parish president Cynthia Lee said that they're expecting catastrophic damage. White caps on the highways, the fire station taking water. In Houma, Louisiana, in Terrebonne Parish, the sheriff says catastrophic damage there as well. Electricity and power lines out. 8 major transmission lines coming into the area from Entergy, the local energy company, and hundreds upon hundreds of phone poles and light poles are down. Roads are impassable as a result of all of that. The town of Lafitte, especially hard hit. Fire rescue telling WWL, the CBS station there, the highest water in at least 34 years. 500 people in Lafitte informed the fire department before the storm that they were staying behind. And we watched this morning as they sent out rescue boats to try to find people in their attics or on their roofs who desperately need to be saved from those rushing waters, which are still extremely high there. The company Entergy de-electrified the entire city of Lafitte so that nobody would be electrocuted, though all the power was out. They just didn't want any live wires. And in New Orleans, the great news from this storm is the levee held. As you may remember, more than $12 billion in federal money went into shoring that up, modernizing it. One of the most modern levee control systems and water control systems in all the world in New Orleans. And the early word is all systems go. The levee's held. The city is intact. NBC's Jay Gray is there for us now. That's not to say there was no damage, though, Jay.
No, Shep, you're absolutely right. And while the technical issues learned from Katrina, especially with that water management system, did seem to pay off, it was the water with Katrina, it was the wind with this storm. I want you to take a look behind me. We're right outside the French Quarter, and you can see the roof that was pulled off of the building just across the street and thrown into this area. It pulled down a traffic light. You can see the twisted, mangled arm that held that up. If you work up that, you can see a balcony here. The wind pulled away the shutters, pushed open doors, and shattered windows across this entire area, really across the entire New Orleans metro. You talked about the power outages here. 1 million people just in the New Orleans area alone without power, and it's going to be a while before they have it, Shep. Here's the situation. The 8 feeder lines that bring that electricity into the city, they're in the Mississippi extracted. They're going to have to be repaired. That's a daunting task. It's going to take some time here. With the daylight, we've got people coming out, those who rode it out, and taking a look at the damage here. They're overwhelmed. It is an overwhelming scene, and again, it is widespread here, Shep. It is all across this city, and until you get that power back, and you know this well, it's tough to get that recovery and rebuilding process going in earnest. So they've got to get the power reestablished. The mayor begging people who did move to higher ground, stay out for as long as you can. There's nothing for you here. The power is out. It's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy. Let these teams get in, do what they can before you come back. A tough ask if you left your home. You've been watching this coverage for 24 hours. You've seen the devastation. You want to know what's happened to your house. Getting back in, I think we're going to see a lot of people do that over the next couple of days here.
Jay Gray, live on scene in New Orleans. Jay, thanks. And think of this, to the south and west of New Orleans, according to local officials, many areas have no power, no water, no sewer, no cell phone coverage, essentially completely cut off from the outside world. The roads impassable, and many of those small towns in the bayou flooded.